meeting in our headquarters in the Pandemonium. So Lucifer entrusted me with the mission to fight the pastor of a church in my country, Congo-Brazza. When I arrived in the city of Pointe Noire, where the church was, I began by investigating the pastor. After this investigation, I finally discovered his strength. I discovered that he was a man who feared God and who was powerful in prayer. The implication of all this was disturbing. In fact, it prevented our movements and activities in the city. In his church, there was an intercession group that prayed every day and every night. Beloved, you must understand that the devil does not attack hypocritical Christians because they belong to him. Only those who walk in holiness and the fear of the Lord draw the attention of the devil. This pastor was a member of a community of many churches, but he was the one who feared God. That's why the devil designated him as a potential target. My strategy against this pastor was to extinguish the fire that shone and burned in him. My tactic was to get him to break the law so that I could have access to his life. I was also supposed to stop his evangelical journey to Europe. Whenever he went to the administrative offices for the visa, I deployed demons in those offices to oppose him, but the main purpose was to make sure that this pastor could break the law. I had 800 warrior demons working against this pastor. Failure in the kingdom of darkness is unacceptable. So we worked hard, but despite our determination, this pastor was constant and intense in prayer. So I summoned the chief sorcerer of this neighborhood and his brotherhood so that he could go to this pastor and complain about the noises caused by the intercessors in their prayers. In fact, in all quarters of the world, a chief or secretary general of sorcerers has been established. I told the chief sorcerer, "Gather all the sorcerers in this area and go to the pastor. You must pretend that the intercessors make noises with their prayers at night and people cannot sleep." So in the morning, the sorcerers went to see the pastor to complain. They approached this pastor with abusive and shocking language to make him feel offended. It is a powerful strategy that succeeded because the pastor reacted with pride. As a result, the door of his life was opened, and the sorcerers managed to send a demon into the life of this pastor through the door of pride. He was spiritually weak, and his attempt to travel to Europe failed. You must understand that the devil will seek an open door to access your life. Anger and offense are the two great main doors used by sorcerers against children of God. The Bible says, "Be angry but do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger." Ephesians 4:26. I managed to extinguish the fire of this man of God. A few weeks later, I received the invitation to go to Hong Kong, where an extraordinary meeting was organized to bring together high-ranking Satanists. I took my flying carpet as usual and went to Hong Kong. There were many businessmen and representatives of great fashion houses and perfume makers. Representatives of the lotion industry and the beauty industry were also present. At this meeting, we focused on drugs. The devil recommended the creation of many drug outlets and drug stores around the world. He recommended more distributors, dealers, and agents in all sectors of the world. We need agents in the police, in the local authorities, in the customs of the different ports and borders of many countries of the world. We also need agents in international structures to enforce our decisions in the customs, the police, and the government. After dealing with the distribution of drugs, the devil instructed manufacturers of beauty products, all brands, to accelerate with the creation and design of beauty products, including soaps, lotions, perfumes, and others, so that human beings destroy their natural beauty. The devil charged the powers of darkness to attach demons to these beauty products, soaps, and lotions, so that humanity can be possessed simply by using them. Later, the devil incited scientists to design fake drugs for diseases such as malaria, so that people do not recover after taking these drugs. After this meeting, the devil took us to Spain, where he had a disciple in charge of hotel and restaurant businesses. After he took us to the United States, where we visited the guardian of the bulls of the United States, also called the Bulls of Chicago. This animal is a demon, and this demon is the principality that governs the United States. The devil made me understand that every country on this earth is ruled by a principality that is a superior demon. This principality is represented in the image of a beast or a totem, and that of the United States is represented by a bull. A few days later, the devil sent me to Namibia to destroy a man of God who was troubling us. After a few days, I went to the capital of Namibia. When I arrived, I transformed into a beautiful woman. I had reached a level where I could take the form I wanted. Then, the intelligence service of the Kingdom of Lucifer that works 24 hours a day informed me of the location of the targeted pastor. I was informed that he had gone to visit a church member, but was on his way back. I approached the road where he had to go, in the shape of a woman hitchhiking. He was driving on the same road, and when he saw me in the form of a beautiful woman, he stopped his car. He was already captivated by my beauty, and he wanted me. When I got into his car, I seized the opportunity. As he desired me, I threw 30 demons in his mouth. They are demons of sexual immorality, fornication, and covetousness. They immediately took hold of him and began to influence him. After a while, he stopped his car around his house. He was supposed to take money so we could go to a hotel. When he entered his house, I noticed an old lady sitting by the door. She was his mother. When the pastor took money from his room, I approached his mother and gave her the face of a girl. And when the pastor came out of the house, he saw the beautiful young woman sitting exactly where his mother was sitting. I manipulated the pastor's vision to show him the things I wanted. The pastor did not realize that the beautiful girl was his own mother, and since he could no longer control his sexual behavior because of the demons of fornication inside him, he ended up sleeping with the pretty lady who was his own mother, because his vision was manipulated and they were both bewitched. The pastor, according to him, thought that he took the money, took me, and went to a hotel where we had sex, but I had manipulated his vision. It never happened. He just slept with his own mother. I was there in the car. I simply implanted a false vision in his mind. While the pastor was sleeping with his mother, I took the form of a rich young man. I went to sleep with his wife and daughters, and I managed to put the spirit of fornication in the house of this pastor. When he committed incest with his mother, he received even more demons of fornication who began to influence him. Later, he went to visit one of the elders of his church. When he saw that he was not present, he coveted his wife who was alone. He seduced his wife, and they had sex. And while they were in action, the elder came back and caught them in the act. He got angry and told the church what had happened. This situation was unbearable for people in the church. As a result, this church was divided and ended up dislocating. This mission in Namibia was a success. I was rewarded in the devil's kingdom with gifts and promotions. In the kingdom of the enemy, if you cause the fall of a man of God, there are many rewards for you. Men of God must understand that not all women who come near them are necessarily ordinary women. Some are mermaids and demons. Others are Satanists in female form. After completing this mission, I traveled home to Congo, where I went to see the devil in a hotel where he resided. He had the form of a rich young man. He received me and congratulated me. He gave me 3 more missions with great promises and great rewards.